Hello kids, we welcome you to our Kidsland family.
So kids, as usual, our teacher Mamo Kanu is in touch today to do today's lesson for you. So let's hand over the program to our teacher.
Yes, Joanna, today we are talking about the story of Samuel. Now let's go to today's lesson. Samuel, the child of the temple. The tabernacle that was built in the wilderness and was brought into Canaan by the priests was set up at Shiloh in the very center of the land of Canaan. And once every year the tribes came to it to worship and offer sacrifices. After it had come to Shiloh to stay, it was called the temple. When Eli was high priest, a man named Elkanah came up from Ramah to worship. And Hannah his wife went with him. She was a good woman and very sorrowful, because she saw other wives with sons and daughters around them, and she had none. Her husband was loving and kind and said, "Am I not better to thee than 10 sons?" But she prayed to God for a son. While she was at Shiloh, she prayed in the temple, and Eli saw her lips move, though he heard no voice. At first he spoke harshly to her, thinking she had been drinking wine. But she told him that she had not taken wine, but was praying. "I am a woman of sorrowful spirit," she said, "and have poured out my soul before the Lord." Then Eli blessed her and said, "Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee the prayer that thou hast asked of him." Then Hannah was no longer sad. Her prayer was answered, and the Lord sent her a little son. And when he was old enough, she took him to the temple, for she had promised the Lord that the child should be his. So Elkanah came bringing sacrifices, and the young child was with them. Hannah told Eli that she was the woman whom he saw praying in the temple. Samuel speaking to the Lord, "For the child I prayed," she said, "and the Lord has answered my prayer. Therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives he shall be lent to the Lord." Eli was very glad and gave thanks to the Lord, and took the little boy to help him in the service of the temple. Every year his father and mother came to bring offerings to the Lord, and his mother always brought him a little coat which she had made. Over it was a linen garment called an ephod, such as the priests wore. Eli was an old man, and his sons, though they were priests, were not good men, and he believed the Lord had sent him one who would be good, so he loved little Samuel as if he were his own. One night when Eli was laid down to sleep, and Samuel also, while the light was still burning in the golden candlestick before the ark, Samuel heard a voice calling him, and he answered, "Here am I," and ran to see what Eli wanted. But Eli said that he had not called, and Samuel lay down again. When the voice called again, Samuel went again to Eli's bed. But Eli told him to lie down again, for he had not called him. When the voice called the third time, Samuel said, "Here am I, for thou didst call me." Then Eli told the boy to lie down once more. But if he heard the voice again to say, "Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth." And when the voice called again, "Samuel, Samuel," the boy answered, "Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth." Then the Lord told Samuel that the sons of Eli had become very wicked, and their father had not kept them from the evil, and therefore he could not accept their offerings. When Eli asked Samuel what the Lord had said to him, the boy told him all and hid nothing from him. And Eli bowed his spirit before the Lord, and said, "It is the Lord, let him do what seemeth him good." After this all the people of Israel knew that the Lord had called Samuel to be a prophet. And as he grew up, the Lord was with him, and he was a judge over his people all his life. As for Eli and his sons, the word of the Lord soon came true. When the Philistines came against the Israelites in battle, the elders of Israel said, "Let us bring the ark of the Lord out of Shiloh to us, that it may save us out of the hand of our enemies." And so they took it from the holy place to the camp of Israel. Then the Philistines fell upon the camp and scattered the men of Israel. They also took the ark of God, and the 2 sons of Eli were among the thousands slain. Eli, who trembled for the ark of God, sat outside the city gate by the wayside watching. He was nearly 100 years old, and his eyes were dim. But when a messenger came with the bad news, he fell backward in his seat and died. His heart was broken. Where was Samuel? Perhaps he was praying in the temple for the return of the ark of the covenant. Wherever the ark went among the Philistines, there went also trouble and death. When they put it in the temple of their fish god Dagon, the great idol fell down before it and was broken. And when it was taken to another city, the people were smitten with sickness, until at last the Philistines said, "Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go to its own place." After 7 months they sent it with gifts of gold to the Israelites. They placed it on a new cart drawn by 2 cows, and the cows, guided by the Lord alone, took a straight way into the land of Israel. How glad the people were when they looked up from their reaping in the fields, and saw the ark coming safely back to them. The Philistines watched it from afar to see if it would be guided of God to its own place or not, and then they returned to their city. Samuel gathered the people to the Lord after this, and though they had sinned greatly, and had gone after the gods of the heathen around them, they repented and returned to the faith of their fathers, and were faithful all the days of Samuel. He went from year to year on a journey to 3 cities of Israel and judged the people in those places. But his home was in Ramah, the city where he was born and where Hannah had brought him up for the Lord.
So kids, today we learned a lot about the story of Samuel. We hope that your life will get many things from this.
If you are not connected to our website yet, connect to our website today and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Then you can watch as soon as we post a video.
This is the Kidsland family.